going on, everybody? And thanks for joining us again. We're live. And today we are just seeing a wild world, a world of chaos. From the macro, just this planet we float on, to the micro, the plastic in your testes. But from that, our first topic of the day is how the Chronicles of Onijah Ahmed has taken the eyes of the world. We're going to break down how this American woman is taking over Pakistan, or maybe now the world. But the second topic of the day is going to be how researchers are finding a significant amount of tiny plastic particles in men. And then finally on the day, how scientists discover Earth's inner core isn't just slowing down, it's also changing shape. Ooh. So with that being said, sit with me as my co-host, Will Hubert. On the keys, as always, Dougie Fresh. And in the...
Sorry, wrong camera.
And then sitting in the Pickle Gallery, as always, Silent Destroyer. And so let's get this baby going. Okay, so first off is this story of a kind lady named Onijah Robinson. Now, Ms. Robinson no longer goes by that name. Oh, actually, you know what?
Oh, for real?
I'm seeing it now. Before we get into this topic, because it is a sweet, dense topic, I want to have an update. So let me bring Silent in here too. Here's an update. Last week, first topic of the day was a tragic story of discrimination, as you know, a large-sized rapper was being discriminated against by Lyft. You know, it wouldn't be breaking content if we weren't keeping you in the update as stories evolve. So Miss DeMoss,
that's her name.
Yeah,
Okay.
DeMoss,
Like,
Big
what's her name?
DeMoss. She's a new up and coming rapper. And here's what I got to say. Being a giant publicity stunt, it's working. I mean, you got us talking 2 weeks in a row about you.
I did see a video where she was.
Oh, wait, just stop.
Oh, I was all right.
But what we have lined up is the update. So again, for those of you that weren't with us last week, Miss DeMoss is suing Lyft because a driver didn't accommodate her. Now, these car companies like Uber and Lyft do have the option to get larger vehicles. So maybe there wasn't one available. There's important facts that I'd really like to know that directly points the blame. However, the update comes to us from, you know, the culture corner itself, the Breakfast Club. And the Breakfast Club had an issue of accommodation themselves.
You good? Nice to meet you, Keys.
Got it. Yep. This the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
There's one more.
A bigger chair or something?
Is she already little?
A couch.
We had
We get you a couch. Now, she goes on to sit down in that bad boy and go, yeah, this works. This is it. This is the one. Okay, so the guy in the little Buick whose tires were about to pop was like, nope, this is too much for me. And you felt that was discriminatory. Michigan being the only land lost in delusion, making this a protected class. Everywhere, 49 other states are like, what? But this poor guy wasn't able to accommodate you. If the accommodation is a couch, then no, the little sedan could never make. I think that this guy's attorneys, or really Lyft's, billionaire attorneys, right? These guys whose job it is to win already is super easy. Oh my God. They woke up, we're having breakfast, because you know those white guys in Chicago, they're always logging into the Breakfast Club, and they were stoked to see the couch come out.
It's such a, you know what? I can we keep this like little like story going, like multiple weeks? I need some more updates of this person. I need to know that at some point she got famous enough to where she could afford a plane that accommodates.
Let's be real. Well, that's the Soul plane. Snoop Dogg flies that way.
No. The
that
plane
way.
that can carry her weight got blown up in Ukraine, so it's no longer viable. Sorry, guys.
Ooh. I remember you and I talked about a while ago. Like, I don't even know if that episode aired, but I remember you brought up a conversation about like accommodation on planes for like plus size people. So I want to know. I want to see her updates, because I did see this video. So I had a feeling you were going there. Has she been on anything else, or is this?
Who would know? You following her? See what I mean?
no.
This is a great marketing scheme to make someone relevant.
Yeah.
Overnight, you've got us 2 weeks in a row talking about you.
Literally, the true victim is that Lyft driver, and they blurred out his face. They're like, "Don't look at him. Like, don't look at this poor guy."
We can't even create a GoFundMe for him. He'd get $1 from me.
I'd give him $1.
That's what I'm
I'd
saying.
give him $1.
I'd give him $1.
Yeah.
And I think 49 other states
Dude,
would.
oh my God. If we started a GoFundMe for him and so many people gave him bucks to where he could afford a bigger car, she would jump on that
No.
quick.
He gets enough dollars to get a bigger Uber or Lyft car, and he buys a smart car. He just goes smaller.
He's just like, no, I saw where this one last time.
Dude, I'll be real with you. My dad keeps going, outgrow a Challenger. I'll never outgrow a Challenger. But I'll tell you what, the thing that's super sweet, my next car will probably not be that. You got time to outgrow the Challenger. But I got to say, the sweet thing for the last 6-8 years has been, I really don't have a back seat.
Yep.
I guess I shouldn't drive. And it's like, take me.
Your most precious cargo in the back of your car is the golf clubs.
You know it.
You think the moss is gonna fit? Dude, you would have to fold the seat up for her to get back.
She could not get in that passenger seat.
No.
Dodge discriminates.
Dodge.
And those two Dodge
discriminates.
brothers are like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Dominic Toretto, not you.
We made it for Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah. I did see that. I didn't watch the video. I just saw that she was on Charlemagne, and that it was like a tweet. It like summarized like, yeah, she wasn't able to sit down or whatever. And I was just like, one, why did you have her on? But two, then I realized I was like, no, I know why you have her on. And then three, what do you like Charlemagne? Charlemagne's like my size. And for the people that can't watch, I'm not a big individual. 5'5", 155 pounds, soaking wet. I can't imagine Charlemagne the God is that much bigger than me. He doesn't look like a big individual. She had to walk in, and he probably thought, like, if that's the Cookie Monster, I'm screwed.
Because I'm a snack.
Yeah, oh yeah, smiling back. Like, that's what he's doing. You know, so, hey, I mean, at least I had a couch handy.
Okay, speaking of, I look at this thing, dude, and if you're not like, okay, Charlemagne, you are cutting edge news, journalism and commentary for the culture. Look at him right now. When you are physically, hold on, I want to be seen. When you are physically pushing a couch, if your commentary being the representative, the only one,
you ain't black,
talking to Joe Biden, the only one black enough, Joe Biden, if that's you being the representative and you wolf over a couch and your commentary is anything other than in defense of the immigrant trying to make it in a sedan, bro, who is coming to you for commentary? Look at him right now.
Yeah.
You are she couldn't see. You know what's nice about the Rethink Tank? All the people in this room right now can move the chair themselves. I don't have to scoot it for you. We also
could stand.
don't have to get that couch for you.
We also could stand the whole time, and I don't think she could do that either.
I would push back on your existence, on your truth, the way you look at this reality. I would push back and say you are unfit, literally and figuratively.
Speaking of your podcast, though, you have set up like on the couch before, and we didn't. It's not like unlike her, we needed the couch. I'm looking at like his studio, and it's like you have like 2 couches there. Why didn't you just do it over there? Yeah. Now you got to go through the whole rigmarole of like, you know.
Well, because you know what, I'll commend him in this. That looks like a pretty
like it's a legit studio,
set.
but like but you can't move that equipment to the couches, knowing like.
Yeah, you know what's funny is how versatile I have made this room.
That's what I mean.
And I'm not the $1 billion podcast show.
That's what I mean.
Like, you could literally click over to mine, yours, and Doug's live stream of the inauguration, and it's a totally different set over there.
Yeah, it's 5 feet that way, just like there. So,
and it could accommodate 4 Dougs all sitting on each other's laps.
Like, if the woman wasn't able to fit in the little Lyft sedan, you looked at the office chair and was like, why not? She'll fit that.
But here's the thing.
No.
I live in a world where
It's expected to be able to fit in the chair. I agree.
Yeah, but at the same time, on a daily basis, as a position in my as a role in my position, I am forced to accommodate where possible. And where that line is, first off, the chair provided will never be satisfactory to all of them. That's what I've come to learn. That's fact. If I'm taking care of an office, not 100% satisfaction. So how do I legally meet that responsibility? Because I'm never going to make everybody happy. And I'm not going to spend $10,000 on a chair. The legal standard is ergonomic. You know, they've got all these technical terms for springy when fat and, you know, can get widen and handle the bounces and all of the types. And when it gets that approval, I've met my standard. And that means it's a moderate, satisfactory level of comfort and effectiveness. So when you come to a complaint, when I meet that standard, I could go, sorry, that's the best I could do. That's what was in that room. That is like average guy. And I don't want to recreate the last episode. Go to the last episode where we show you the spectacle in 1960 where everybody would travel to come see the fattest man.
Oh, it was even
and he
earlier
was like
than that.
200 pounds. Yeah, you're right. It was like, 1900.
Even earlier than that.
Yeah, it was like 1800, like 1880 or something.
Yeah.
But it was like
that old timey photograph where like you got to see it in 6 months.
Yeah. and again, the whole place traveled to see this spectacle. Now that's everybody in Walmart. So when I look at this, it's like
they got scooters now.
yeah. Wally. So I just wanted to update you because I think that pretty much solidifies where the legal consideration is. How far does Lyft have to accommodate you? If they've got the standard ergonomic office chair and they need to replace it, not with an even a bigger chair, but a couch. And you could say that's all they had on deck, baby. That's all they would ever have. It's that or the floor.
I need 2 things to happen for her, though, on this journey that we're going to continue watching her on. And it's going to have to happen in this order for it to get there. 1, in a few weeks or months or whatever in the timeline, I need her to have a collaboration with Dave Blunt's. That needs to happen. And then 2, I need her to perform the halftime at the Super Bowl.
Oh, my goodness.
These are things.
Hold on.
Wait,
if you think your dad wanted to turn off the halftime show this year, you're gonna lose.
That's fine.
You're gonna lose people with that one.
I want to see the L on the TV, but what I also want to see is just a stationary couch sofa at the 50-yard line of the Super Bowl. And that's the performance.
Dave Blunt's.
I'm just saying, like that.
Remember,
dude, imagine the journey this podcast would go on to get there.
I would say, and again, remember
We'd
when
be rooting for her.
Remember when music had talent? Like there was a time where you had dueling pianos. Now we could just have dueling meatballs screaming at each other.
Oh my God. We should get them both sitting on a piano like old timers would do.
You think they could do anything beyond?
I don't know, but I'd love to see the DraftKings bet to see over under how long that piano would last. I'm just saying there's money to be made here and I'm throwing out gold and people need to start tuning in.
Large people sitting on pianos. I'm sure. Jump into the comments if you're dying to get in on that.
Put the over under at like 4.5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to fill in the people of Miss DeMoss and, of course, the tragedies of this unaccommodating world around her. But now let's transition into, I think, what will probably be the hottest topic of the day, and that's Miss Onijah Robinson. But she has dispelled herself of that name. It's Miss Onijah Ahmed. She claims to be the wife of a Nigel Ahmed and has traveled to Pakistan to be with her husband. And through her gallivant through the country, she has become so much of a spectacle that she's audibly saying it's her plan, and she's expecting the cash as she takes over Pakistan to rebuild it and make it better.
I hope he's saying the right things, okay? Like I said, Pakistan needs to be reconstructed the right way. Do you hear me, guys? Make sure y'all get this on your camera. I'm married to Nidel Ahmed. I'm Onijah Ahmed. We are moving to Dubai very soon. We're gonna have our baby in Dubai. Okay? I have my son Jeremiah Robinson, Sire Pitt. His father is William Pitt. Jeremiah's father is Lewis Thomas. They will be rich. The Irene family, Kiki, and the Lika, the rest of my family also. Please understand, this city will be reconstructed. It will be fixed up right away. I'm asking the government for $100K in my pockets so I could do real estate. My husband will own it in Karachi. We will not live here, but we will get this job done right away. I'm asking for $20K right away in my pockets at the end of this week. That's all, folks, for today. That's it. He have nothing else to say. Goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you.
She has these like notorious lines,
Oh man.
like, you know, praise Allah, praise Allah, praise halala, and
Well, you got to pay
God bless
respects.
God. And you're just like, this is someone straight up taken from the city of America and thrown in Pakistan. And what I want to also acknowledge, maybe Silent can help us kind of pull this onion apart, but these aren't countries and cultures you can just be thrown into. Like Dubai being a part of the story later coming up, you know, when we were taking a scholar trip to the Middle East in the UAE, and this most predominantly applied to Oman first, but all of these countries, with a country of Sharia law, like you can't be caught crossing your legs with the bottom of your foot up. You really shouldn't eat with your left hand. If depending on where you're at, it's increasingly more severe. So there's these little like cultural laws that if you aren't with somebody in the know and you're just ignorant, think about how many people at an American Subway, BMV, restaurant waiting lobby are sitting with their legs crossed like that. But you literally just lost your foot. This whole you're sitting here as a culprit of the problem. And you didn't even know it.
It was because I was white.
That's
Right to jail.
always the
Straight to jail.
problem.
You know, what I will say about this woman, though, is I gotta respect a woman who knows what she wants.
And
There's
you know
something
what?
about that.
She demands it.
Yeah.
This is my bodyguard, and he will be getting paid over $100K every 2 weeks.
Everybody's getting 100K.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
and you know
every
what?
2
She's getting the cash.
Was that
Every
her
2
husband,
weeks.
though, in the first video?
No. So this is just some media guy. Okay, so let me give a little bit of the story
I guess,
now.
yeah,
Here's
yeah.
the
I was
story.
like, is that her
How
husband?
does this lady end up there? How does she end up in Pakistan? Okay. And where does Nigel, the husband, come into this?
Was it Nigel
Um,
or Nibel? It doesn't matter. I
It
just
doesn't matter.
I thought she said it Nibel. I don't even think. Maybe he's not real. I don't know.
Oh, he's real.
Is he? Cool.
We can't ask him, though,
Oh,
because he's on the run.
does he have money though?
So here's what happens. An 18-year-old Nigel Ahmed,
He's 18.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
gets caught up on the internet and is messaging this pretty American who is using a Nicki Minaj filter to give herself blonde hair and narrow her face, give her a complexion that makes her look younger. Catfishes this 18-year-old kid, then convinces him to get married, and they do some Islamic. I don't think it's Islamic but it's some sort of like Pakistani marriage that they were able to do over the internet and was like legal in Utah. And she is talking to him. They're hitting it off. He goes, "You should come visit me in Pakistan." And she's like, "Yes." No hesitate. I'm there.
I mean, why
And-
would they're married? They
I'm-
gotta consummate this thing.
Going to my hubby, Nigel Ahmed. And he sends her the address. She just starts taking over. They have like a little plot of land with like his parents and like his siblings all living there, aunts, uncles, like a property
So there's a compound now.
compound. She takes it over.
Compound, yeah.
She annoys the shit out of them to such a degree they run and flee the property. She's become such a hell space to them that they run and escape the property, she takes it over. Now she's running through Pakistan, declaring her marriage to this guy and how they're going to make Pakistan better. But I am going to go back to Dubai with Nigel and have a baby. And they're like, what? And so the Pakistani people are eating this up. It's like an albino lion just walking through town. That would kill people. Maybe like an albino elephant. Everybody's just like, come take pictures and talk to the spectacle. So she not only is like living in her own delusion, but also because she's such a spectacle in this location, she's being fed this delusion, like being swarmed, cash coming out of random places. So one of my favorite scenes is here's like her, here's her and like being swarmed by media going to the hotel she was staying at, right? So and this is over the series of a couple of days. Now, when she gets in there, I want to cut to one of the media's videos because the audio is so much clearer. But this is her just picking up right where that video left off, walking into the lobby of the hotel that she was staying at.
This is a nice hotel. She's the owner right here. Thank you.
I'm not the owner. Sorry, ma'am.
Go get the owner, please.
The owner is not here, ma'am.
The owner. This is the owner. Say hello, everybody. This is the owner. Say hello. She's very shy. Don't worry about it.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
What are you trying to do here?
I was trying to help your hotel. Now, you have to shut this hotel down because they cheat people and they take people money.
I love this queen. I love this woman.
She's flexing the influence that
magical
she
about what she's
has.
doing there.
What's that, Silent?
I said she's just flexing her influence already. She's like, yep, nope, let's shut it down. Nope, nope. These guys take everybody's money. Just shut it down.
I'm just saying, I love this woman. That is the most American attitude you could have in a foreign country I've ever seen. I love her. I need Make Pakistan Great Again if that's going to be her movement. Because oh my God, I mean, way to make your presence known.
Well, you know, I'm curious if she's going to be such a strong political figure of change. I agree.
She literally Manti-Teo'd her way into being the president of Pakistan.
Yeah,
potentially.
And so again, now I'm curious. What is her plan?
Plan is to shield this place down and to make it a home. I don't marry for money. Money is nothing. No, money is nothing. I have money. And everybody in here have money too because y'all going to pay them. I'm already married. We don't have kids yet. We married in Utah. Over the online.
Yeah. She's a queen. She's a queen, man. I respect that marriage. I respect the sanctity of marriage. It means a lot to me. And
so we got to hunt down Nigel. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, man. You. Oh yeah. We need more updates of these people. She's up there with the woman that was on the plane, hiding like that. Like legendary people. These are legends of America, conquering. She's like the modern day Lewis and Clark, as far as I'm concerned. Uncharted territory. Married in Utah. South Park writers they don't even have to work for it. They just get it fed to them. I mean, that's insane. That's it. And then he goes on the run, and I think she's the victim. She got conned into this. I mean, sure, maybe, you know.
She's on the other side of the world. Getting conned, you say?
I mean, like, con maybe not the best word. She might have conned her way into it, but now I think she's getting conned, and she's like, you know, she deserves alimony. Maybe they'll get divorced. Maybe she'll get some alimony out of this.
So, of course, with all of this newfound fame, Pakistan is eating it up. The people. That means the media is flocking to just consume more Onijah Ahmed.
And I'm sleepy and I want to go to sleep.
Do you like any food, Pakistani food? I saw some plates and biscuits.
Yes, I like the onions. I like the paratha. I like the chicken keema. I know
Pakistani food.
Why do you love more Pakistan and Pakistani people and Pakistani food?
Because y'all pray a lot, and I really like that.
Okay. Please tell us about why you coming in Pakistan.
Why what?
Why you coming in Pakistan?
Because, like I said, I like because y'all pray, and I pray all the time.
And I hear about the love you're Pakistani. If you want any nationality and something,
Uh-huh. What you said? I'm sorry.
you want any Pakistani nationality and citizen.
I don't understand that question.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Please take care.
She's an icon. She's an icon.
Oh man!
And the thing is,
it just gets better and better every clip. It really does.
It does, but there's a lot of them.
Is she like, and maybe in more clips, it'll like, it doesn't seem like she's mocking Pakistan. Like, funny enough, it actually seems like she wants to be there.
Oh yeah,
you get what I mean? Like, it's not like she's there and she's like making like. So many Americans will go to other countries and kind of make a mockery of it. It's like, I don't think she is. I think she genuinely believes in her plan.
Well, that's an interesting angle you present.
Know what I mean? Like,
because here's another one of these news interviews, but I want to point out the person next to her, Shabana, and this is like a how do we describe her? Like a Pakistani representative that is like a liaison, and she's in a lot of these clips with her, and she's taking her through it's kind of bizarre. And when you see clips like this on how she leans on Shabana, it's one of these like, okay, wait, is there something else going on here?
Feel great, Shabana.
You want to go back your country?
It's private, but no, I do not. I'm from Pakistan now.
How Pakistan helped and take care of you?
Shabana, would you like to speak, Shabana? Okay, she's been taking care of me. Thank you very much.
Taking care of yours.
Yes, everybody. This is my team.
Okay.
Yes, hi.
Interesting.
Now you are feeling well.
Yes, I'm going for sonogram.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God, just gonna
Okay, बिल्कुल सच्चो शबाना जलानी के साथ बहुत मुतमईन है ये खातून और बहुत खुश नजर आती हैं.
So here's one thing I just want us to see. So Shabana and a team of like clearly like representatives
or liaisons.
Yes. And you could say that Pakistan wants to ensure that now that this person has all this attention, that there's no negative attention from like her being mistreated, so they want to protect her. So I could see that angle. But here is Bilal Hassan, and one of the clips here. So he's been covering this at like 14 chapters on TikTok, and he's probably across other social medias. So I would definitely go check it out because he catches there's not a chapter missed. And yet he brings up a really interesting angle when it comes to Pakistani media as somebody who is a representative and somebody that's like in that business, how it relates to American media. And I don't know, it presents an interesting angle.
Onijah has managed to do for Pakistan what thousands of dollars of PR was not able to do. Allow me to explain this. Pakistan has an image problem, a reputation problem. It's the post 9/11 years, the war on terror. We were all stereotyped as being terrorists, and Pakistan also has blame for it because it was hiding one person over here also. But again, one problem over here is, which I want to highlight, is that people mostly in America and most of the world, but specifically in America, have this big problem where they cannot differentiate between a government and its policies and the rest of the population. Like majority people over here in Pakistan understand that America is a big country. There's 350 million people that probably live in America, but all of America is not similar to its government and its policies. But in America, it doesn't work that way. So like if the government says that like someone is just shouting over there, they're like, yeah, Pakistan, bad guys, and these terrorists and everything. So majority Americans will think that all of us are like that. And that is a problem. And that is what we were working against. So what happened was like, it was, I think in the mid 2010s, our government was like, you know what, we're going to go on this PR thing. And they started hiring these Instagram bloggers.
This is it. Listen to this part.
Paid PR trips. And now I'll tell you what went wrong over here. There are two things that specifically went wrong over here. And this is where Onijah got it right. And I feel like it was divine. She was divinely sent to Pakistan. She was divinely sent to Pakistan to do the Lord's work, to do the work that none of these people were able to do.
Or calculated.
All of these bloggers, majority of them, and they're very big. You'll probably know them. I don't want to call anyone down. You can just search them up. These were people who they came over here and they pissed the local population off. They pissed us all off. I'll tell you what went wrong. The majority one, all of them were white. It's not like we have any issue with white people. No, I'm getting down to that. These people, one thing that Pakistan has is a colonial hangover. And by colonial hangover, because we were formerly colonized by the British, people up in the government, the elder population, has this complex where they want to be close to whiteness, where they need the white man's validation. So they obviously hired the white bloggers, all of them. And what pissed the local population was off was the fact that these people got access to parts of the country where even us locals could not get access to. And we were like, excuse me, like, why does this person from Romania, Poland, or like, I don't even know, who probably just has a lot of followers, but why does this person have access to this part of the country, which I've never been able to go to? Or this man from Arizona, like, why? So people started questioning that, and they started commenting that, one. And number two, a lot of these bloggers would come and work in conjunction with us, with someone like me who has been working in travel, tourism over here on the ground and speaks your language, the colonizer's language also. I can call you out in your language also.
You know us.
So they used to work in conjunction with us because we're the people who put the country on the map in the first place. So they used to come and hang out with us. We used to show them the places. But it started pissing us off. You know why? Because they would never credit us. They would never tell the people that,
Master
hey, you know what?
Paki.
I hung out with Bilal and Bilal showed me this part of town and everything. And shout out to Bilal. They would never use their privilege. They would never use their privilege to amplify the voices of a person of color like me. Someone like me who lives here and puts my country on the map. They would never do that. They would instead be like, yeah, I discovered this place. I did this place. I. And you know what? Bitch, I speak the language. I'm going to call you out. I speak your language. And you know what they did? They started blocking us. But you know what? It just pissed the local population off. So now what happened was, after this wave, now whenever any, specifically like a white blogger would come in and they'd start doing this, you know, this whole charade of, I love Pakistan, I love Pakistani people, I love the food. So, and it's like a very cliche script. People would start commenting. They're like, paid blogger. They have a script. And, you know, because of this, what happened was a lot of us locals would stop hanging out with them. Like whenever they'd message us, I was like, I don't want to hang out with them. I was like, probably as a paid blogger, this person will probably like go like hang out with Pakistanis, will want to show up Pakistan and everything. But they're here for the clout. They're here for the clout because they're going to say the same script. They're going to get clout because Pakistan is a beautiful country. And
How much clout is in Pakistan?
you will get clout for it. But will they amplify my voice? Will they want to listen to me as the Pakistani about Pakistan? No. And so you know what
Master
happened was, there's
Paki.
a term that has come out. A term has come out in Pakistan which is called Sasta Gora. Sasta Gora means cheap white person.
Thanks.
White person.
That's cool.
And that is the last thing you want to be called as a tourist in Pakistan. They're like cheap white person. That means this white person, this white blogger is over here and this person is cheap as fuck. They're here to
This guy
off of us.
crazy.
They want the free trip. They want the free clout, but they don't want to give us anything. They don't even want to share the clout. They don't even want to say thank you. They are
Thank you.
assholes. And you know what Onijah has done over here? Onijah was not even hired by anyone. She was not hired by anyone. She just came. And she was just being her batshit crazy self. But you know what happened was our people were nice. Because we are nice people. And it happened in the eyes of the world. The world saw this and the world is seeing it. And I'm reading all the comments. And you know why? This is why Mark Zingerberger wants to shut this app down because the algorithm works. I've received comments from people over here from places like Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Bahamas, Barbados, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, the United States. And if I missed you, please drop a comment. The algorithm here works. The algorithm, I'm going all on a tangent, but the algorithm works.
Yes, you are.
Instagram sucks. Because people over here are listening. And for once, I'm happy. I'm happy that people are seeing us for,
He's happy.
for how we
I'm
are.
glad for once.
I don't know why I'm getting a bit emotional over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what I wanted to explain. Like,
You know what makes him happy? The fact that all the people he has slurs for is giving him attention.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I do want to give him credit. He's got great hair. I didn't realize how much that clip got lost in a tangent. It lost me. I must have scrolled. I didn't know how much he got lost in a tangent about stingy white people slurs, but because again, no one else is allowed to have them, but you could just honky away. And I just want to get back to a point that he totally strayed away from, which was like the hard-hitting front quarter. There was a huge media marketing campaign globally that paid American content creators to come to Pakistan, that paid Pakistani collaborators to or content creators to collaborate with them. And, you know, that's why you put at my spectacular, because, you know, I guess the gripe here is that they didn't give him enough credit. So that all being said, this is take it from boots on the ground. Guy who cashed a check from that exchange. There was a media campaign to make Pakistan look more welcoming, put it in a more, you know, civil, maybe Western world, but at least in a light that makes it more attractive to the people across the globe. And I only bring this piece up because it's seasoned with, man, we just spent 15 minutes all giving her the accolades of like, cheers to this lady who's demanding $100,000. And what makes us chuckle, what makes you like make a joke of it, is because like she's not getting the cash. Or is she? Like, how are you getting that fat stack? And so comments are like, she's getting it. So, okay. Where in human existence have you been able to go anywhere, let alone like kind of a, you know, second world country? How often you get to go there and be like, give me cash? And they're like, oh my God, I was gonna pickpocket you, but I see you're wearing the same bed sheet. Here you go. Like, no, it doesn't happen. So I'm just like, how do you start the ride off with a media, I don't know, that was like Iron Man declaring he's Iron Man, a boardroom full of Pakistani microphones. And she's like, yeah, I am married to this 18-year-old kid and I'm taking the place over. Not to mention, he flirts with it in this chapter, but it becomes overly apparent in all the other reports. The guy, this 18-year-old kid, came from like a super rich family.
Clearly.
To be fair, by the way, she's holding $1 bills, just so you know. Those are 100.
That's what. Thank you. Is
like
that
those are not worth much. Like that whole stack is maybe like $100. Maybe
I feel better now.
You know?
I was gonna say, what's the
maybe she's struggling over there.
one USD is like 200. I just looked it up. 279.03 Pakistani rupees. So yeah, and I think the red note is the 100 rupee. So each one of these is $50. So two of them would, or like almost three of them would be $1.
Whoopies. It's over there with their whoopies, like Legend of Zelda. That's what she's doing right now. She's conquering dungeons.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's still getting paid. Don't get me wrong. It's just not as much
I don't
as you
know.
think.
I mean, here's the thing.
She asked for $100,000, and I guarantee you, she did not know the currency rate.
And they just gave her all.
You know what I mean? It's not like
they gave her like $6, and she's
she's
like,
like, whoa. She's like, I'm balling out now. Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, okay. I didn't want this to be like our Super Bowl special on the Reactions channel, or like, you know, the inauguration or the election night. I didn't want to get lost in 20 different clips. But one funny series that you could really appreciate if the listener go like search it, when the representative takes her to McDonald's, she orders like everything. She's like 5 cheeseburgers, 5 fries,
55 burgers, 55
and the guy
fries.
just looks at her like, seriously? And she's like, yeah, do it.
Welcome to America.
And then you sit there and go, but why'd they do that? Why'd they do it? She looked at him like, he's like, seriously? And she's like, yeah.
Queen. I'm telling you, I love this woman. I don't care. Like, she's such a queen. She has no idea what she got involved with, and she does not care.
Well, so again, I kind of subscribe to the, as much as I want to believe this is just a catfishing story gone funny, I do think so. Like, this is her getting huge, just doing weird TikTok dances. And who's she doing it with? Like,
A cop.
I got a hunch if Doug did this to a Pakistani militant, it doesn't go so smooth.
They would enlist him.
Yeah, you're coming with us.
Yeah, you guys would probably never see me again.
I just, oh man, I like, you know what? Good for her. Like, even if they're paying her, I can only care so much. She's there. I'm here. I'd prefer this.
So I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna try to read it for the user at home because we only get like a translated.
Hey, that's the guy from before.
Yes.
Okay.
So here's him sending Onijah Moore off. Doug.
Onijah Moore. Is that his name?
There you go, buddy. Sorry.
Nigel Thornberry.
Onijah Ahmed
Nigel Thornberry
was getting interviewed by this guy. This is the same guy from the beginning. This is him sending her off on because somehow there came some diplomatic agreement that her stay here for the last like 2 weeks, running rampant in Pakistan, has run its toll, and it's time to go home to New York. And they're going to safely fly her home back to New York. I am very glad that our sister, Onijah Andrew Robinson, who traveled from America, has safely returned to her homeland. During her visit to Pakistan, she faced some challenges, and I reached out to her and brought her at Chippa headquarters.
Okay.
We did everything we could to provide hospitality, and I take great pride in having the opportunity to serve. What do you mean by that? And spend time with her. Unfortunately, she was deceived by someone online, which caused her distress. However, we ensured she felt representing the kindness of Pakistani people. Now it's moving fast. What the heck, dude? By utmost hospitality. We want the world. What the heck is going on?
That we are committed to humanity. Therefore, we did our best to facilitate her for.
Yeah.
When I held a press conference with Sister, I noticed that her mental state was not ideal, and she was even hospitalized for a few days. They said sonogram. Okay. She has now returned safely to her country, and I am truly relieved. My prayers and best wishes are with her, and I hope she finds happiness with her family. I also want to thank the media friends who can cover this entire campaign. Well, that's weird. Regarding Sister, yes, showcasing a positive image. Okay, this might be a stunt. Of Pakistan to the world. Our hospitality and spirit of humanity have been recognized globally. Oh, this is a stunt. And I thank everyone for their support. They kicked her ass out. It was all stunt.
So that's what it seems like. It seems like they kicked her ass out, and she was. And so here's the thing. I think we're getting to the end here, and you're doing your little outro, and the last little outro to the last chapter was she's off to New York. That's what our friend here is telling us. The representative's telling us she's off to New York, and oddly enough, there are these clips of her floating around landing in New York. It seems like it literally, that's what they're being classified. This is her returning to New York. So now even Mr. Bilal Hassan, everybody's like, she's home. She's in New York. Then literally the breaking news is, and she's not home. Somehow she's in Dubai. So I don't know how the New York thing came into it within like that is, as someone that has been there, that is not an easy flight. This isn't a thing where you're like, I'm touching down in New York and I'm headed back. No. So I don't know what's going on there. Like, because if you look at the videos of her in New York, even that hotel looks sketchy. Like, it's like, that doesn't look like New York's airport. Sorry, folks.
Oh, they didn't put her in Trump Tower.
And the people don't necessarily look like it. But, you know, hey, that could be the reps that came with her. Who knows? Anyway, goofy, weird circumstances. Now she's in Dubai. So I'm going to kick this one off to Rhea the Last Dragon, because she does a great job of updating us as we find Onijah surprising us in Dubai.
Oh, that's what you say?
Onijah Robinson truly is the gift that keeps on giving, because now she's in Dubai. Ma'am, that was supposed to be a stopover on your way to New York City. You weren't supposed to stop there for real. Respect for the law, respect for the law.
Respect for Allah.
Respect for the law, respect for the law.
She's got a catchphrase.
Respect for halal, respect to halal, respect for halal, respect for the law, respect for the law. I refuse to believe that this is real life. How does she already have an established fan base in Dubai? Wait for the camera to pan. Do you see all them people? And she's doing meet and greets. Like, this lady is on tour. How is she on tour before Beyonce? In all seriousness, to make sure she actually came back to the States, because I'm actually very worried for her while she's in Dubai. They do not play in Dubai at all.
My
They
God,
will
I just
lock
thought
you
of the
up for
perfect
the
marketing event for her.
slightest inconvenience. In fact, it was here where that lady from Houston was detained for being too loud in public. And then Onijah was already caught on this recording threatening somebody else. So yeah, she might want to tone her antics all the way down.
So here's what's funny is, like, hearing this made me remember, I wish I had the clips of it, but you should see, this has become such a phenomena that, like, people are dressing their baby to look like her. I mean,
dude.
Yeah, she's becoming a character. Respect for Allah. Like, she's got catchphrases. Look, the baby's got a little bike on its chest. So, like, it's exactly like, you know, she's created a character here. It was one that Rhea was speaking over. So I want to highlight like one specific clip to end on here of her in Dubai. Again, this is going to be developing. Maybe just like Miss DeMoss, I'll have an update for you next week. But this is like the most recent of funny clip. Dude, I'll just.
If you don't do something, I'm gonna burn your face. And let's see if you touch me out here in the streets. I'm dead ass. I'm not playing. I swear to God.
Oh, I
Make
love
a
her.
decision. Y'all must be freaking sick. The only place I'm walking is to the bathroom and back.
Hey, what is Ahmed? You got Ahmed? You talk to.
This lady rules the world.
They need to start making children's books like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego for this woman.
She's running the show now. She's taking over.
Like this is a woman with a plan. I don't know if her husband's even real, but this woman has a plan and she is executing it somehow amazingly, swimmingly.
And let's, okay. I have unpacked quite a chronicle here. I mean, this is a Shakespearean Odyssey. While that being said, Will kind of highlighted it pretty well. When we look at like this clip, it becomes pretty evident that like this was a publicity scheme.
Well, when he brought in the media, I was like, really?
Exactly. No, and
did the media know she was coming?
The great light we're in, and as even that Pakistani content creator said, you know, it isn't just America. It's, you know, all these countries across the world. It's getting all this great attention. And the representatives around her. She's TikTok grittying on, on a military man. Like, what? Come on now. So I think it's pretty clear that this was a stunt. I think Pakistan was like, all right, we've had our fill. We let you gallivant through town and no one cut your hands off. So we're going to send you home before something gets bad. And then Dubai was like, we'll take some of that. She said our name. We'll take that publicity. Everybody's looking at her. We've got chocolate that has pistachio noodles in the middle. We're luxury. She definitely won't lose her hands here. And they're like, fine, take her. And they flew her to Dubai and she's like, I'm here. Someone put a baby in me. And Dubai's like, listen, lady, we're going to let you take a couple pictures in front of a Lambo or two and you're out too.
They created a monster. They thought it was a publicity stunt, and now you have a dictator. Congratulations.
Yes. All right, so we can land this plane. I just wanted to present a little cherry on top. So, Silent, what are your rapping thoughts on Onijah Robinson, or should we start calling her Onijah Ahmed?
I mean, honestly, this lady literally has taken the whole internet by the storm, and now it seems the world by the storm. I would not be surprised if she ends up like in Bali next, or maybe in somewhere else that's exotic, and people are just like taking pictures and selfies, because obviously the word got around in Dubai really fast, because there's a lot of Pakistanis in Dubai, and of course in probably the surrounding countries. And it's one of those things that, like you said, it's a continuously developing story, and just like the more clips get released, the better it just keeps on getting. So I guess only time will tell where she's going to end up. Now, as for, do I think it's a publicity stunt? I think yes. I think she got catfished. She was in a city situation, and then she just hired a bunch of people to, make it better for her. And that's what it seems, especially that dude with the long beard who was saying that she got home safely and all that. So yeah, she definitely knows exactly what she's doing. She clearly has some sort of plan, and she's gonna get what she wants, clearly.
Honestly, I think she's gotten everything she's demanding, except her husband.
Except her husband, that's right.
She knows what she wants and is assertive enough to get it. Now, my rapping thought is going to be this. I have a hard time believing she hired these folks, right? Like, she got these diplomats from Pakistan to liaison and support her. I think this was a scheme. Finding out that this is probably some wealthy kid, right? I think you've got some family that's probably close to the diplomatic scheme, and they, sought out someone that could fill this role. To what extent she knows she's filling a role, that I really don't know. And that's scary. Like, it'd be sad if they actually did like catfish and manipulate someone to do this. I'd like to hope that the conspiracy is larger, so that way she's less of a victim, and they just start paying her. But it does feel like this was a scheme to make the community look safe. That being said, a scary thing that could come from this, highly unlikely, and that's sure as hell what Pakistan's banking on. But like, if Precious in Detroit is like, I could do that.
Oh my God! Send them what Damas? Send them Damas. Yeah, I like that. Oh, I'm with you.
I don't think the guy couch is big enough over there.
Accommodate?
No, she's gonna learn real quick what a country that doesn't accommodate feels like. But no, again, I really do mean that. Like, the sad part is the world is their stage, and they play on the grand scale.
Right.
And so I fear that this is a scheme just for a publicity stunt, and someone who's equally as ignorant as this character is being portrayed is like, I could do that.
Yeah.
And gets a one-way ticket, and Yemen's like, what the hell are you doing? We don't have chicken bones to hand out over here. That's what I mean. You're going to have like other people that are like, well, what hasn't been picked yet?
That's the thing. Like, going off your point, I guess my repping thought is too, is like, one, yeah, I think it's a publicity stunt, but I don't think it's one they like intended to have. I think it's more like they realize this woman's coming and are like, what do we do? Or are we going from here? What I don't get though is why did they say she landed in New York and then she's in Dubai? Like, why didn't they say like, she wanted to travel?
I think it was a
more
layover. I think it seems to be a layover.
I think Dubai, was the layover to New York.
Very well could be.
And that's why I think it's like misreporting, because it's just like people's videos they're sharing, and it very clearly it's like, hey, people from over there. Let me fill you in on a little inside baseball secret. New York's airport, while still New York, sure as hell does not look like that.
Yeah. No, who knows? Maybe they gave her like a week-long layover, and that was part of the deal. I don't.
You wanted to go to Dubai, go see it, go
spend
stand
a week
in the
there,
Burj
and then you're
Khalifa.
going back to the Bronx. I don't know, but like
or Utah. I don't know where that thing is.
Whoever decided for the publicity stunt that she was going to literally show up and start taking it over, genius. Get a loudmouth.
Yeah, seriously.
Get a loudmouth American who got conned. And she's just demanding $100,000.
Okay. A wrapping thought that I've refrained from making, but is a true thing I felt through this whole thing is like, I love seeing this. I wish she could turn it up like 10 more decibels. Because I want to look at the rest of the world and be like, yeah, get a little flavor of what we got.
Yeah.
That's us on a daily. And I still hold the door. If I'm at Applebee's, I go, all right. You'd spit in my face if you had the opportunity, and your capacity is low.
Yeah.
And yet they're like, here's a Swiss guy. Well, what do you mean you don't have universal basic health care? Fuck you. Rolos and Twinkies, and I'm supposed to roll out universal basic. You don't have that. You know what? Take one. Just one. Take one for a day. Like, get her out of here. Get her out of here.
Yeah, I mean, we're a tough crowd. That's the best I got. We're a tough crowd over here, but we make it look easy. We make it look easy, man.
Well, you know what? Let them get a little flavor of the crowd.
They had
little toughness.
One black woman show up, and they're like, "What? What do we do? What do we do? Don't
Get
touch
the news.
her." They literally were like, "Don't touch her either." Jesus.
Get the news. What do we feed
They
her?
were
McDonald's?
praying they did not see TRUMP show up on the phone going like, "I hear you have one of ours." They were like, "No, she's well accommodated. We gave her money. We gave her so much money."
I have a very particular set of skills. I've done this with an $$ app Rocky.
I forgot about that.
I'm a natural. I've done this before.
I got him back. You don't think I'll get Onijah?
We want our Robinson. It's ours. It's mine.
I love Robinsons. Jackie, her, the best. Like seriously, this woman showed up and they were like, if they had it all planned out, it's genius regardless. But if they didn't, they spun it into genius because it's like, don't mess with her. She went literally into that hotel and was like, actually close this place down, take all their money. Yeah. That is us. We do that to Starbucks and they're everywhere.
Hi, can I upgrade my room? It was a little small. No. Shut this bitch down.
Cameras? Did you not see the camera? I will point the camera out.
Did you not see I have cameras? All right, Doug, I flip it to you. What are your rapping thoughts?
That Americans are definitely an acquired taste, you know? You really got to be knowing what you're getting into when you invite one of us over to your country and let us take over. We're a different type of people, I guess.
Where is she from in the country?
Oh, that I really wasn't able to siphon out.
I was just like, I mean, maybe Utah. Maybe she's from Utah. Dude, send her someone from the Bronx. Like, just send one. Just one. Like, drop them in like Fortnite. You know? You know how freaking awesome that'd be?
And just push them off
They
the
look
bus.
up at a plane, they see a battle bus, and then out comes one Bronx person, lands up there. Where you go for a good dog around here? They would be like, what do we do? What do we do?
No,
do we have those?
I want a Crip just
walking Oh my God, a Crip from Compton? Yeah, drop him from the battle bus. He would land and be a meteor. Guys, yes.
No. Safely. You safely get him to the ground and then just pull the blindfold off and let him be.
Oh my God, that's a television show. I'm telling you, there's a lot to monetize here. You can make,
and they are.
They could literally turn her little adventure into a children's book. And you could like
the adventures of Onijah Ahmed.
That's what I'm saying.
A search for her husband.
And that's the whole thing. And she never finds him, but she got to visit Yemen this time. And it's like, I'm telling you, there is something there.
Do you guys remember that series of computer games like Putt Putt and Pajama Sam? And
yes, yeah.
Onijah Ahmed. Just click yourself through Pakistan looking for her husband.
It's
oh my God, here's a dirham. Here's a ruble.
She's got like a little sack of ruble. You put it in. I'm telling you, man, there's so much here to like monetize. It's kind of crazy. And I can't tell if they're geniuses or they really didn't expect this woman to show up and they're like, well, what do we do next? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Why would you send her back? She's having a great time.
Exactly.
As far as I could tell, she does not want to come back here.
Would you?
Not
You're a princess. You are literally Jasmine from Disney. And she's as from the fictional place Aqraba. First off, time out. If I could cut to the clip, I would. But there is a clip I'll never forget. Like it was Jay Leno or one of those like jaywalking type as they're on the street interviewing people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was right around like 9/11. And they were like, do you support Obama wanting to drop missiles on Aqraba? And they're like, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they're like, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah, those people. And it's like, this is a fictional Disney place. Check out Thursday, where I interview a character who does not believe in like the interpretation of our current law. And he has figured out a way to federally live with no true location. It's like Pickle Town. It's crazy. It's an interesting conversation to talk to people that are not in a concrete cage, successfully living this way.
Okay.
So one, check that out Thursday. I'd say his name, One Stupid F, check it out. Great show coming up. But I bring that up because this is her. She should just be running through the Middle East going, I'm from Aqraba. And it's just Disney.
It's kind of like real life Borat.
Reverse
you were sending her.
Yeah,
it's reverse
Borat. Like, it's kind of like this.
A reverse Borat.
I literally thought, I'm like, they should turn this into a movie. I was like, well, they kind of already did. They did it twice, in fact. And I was like, I hope she continues, man. I have hope.
Time out. I'm going to say a joke and only the audience will be able to see your reaction. Couldn't resist. So that being said, shout out to Ricky. Ricky's out here with Wi-Fi on the plane. Get excited because as we transition to our second topic here, I want to get excited to announce that Just Another Day TV is going to be joining us once again. Finally, it's been a long hiatus as the man has been gallivanting across town. So we'll be excited to lock down Ricky again. But as always, I also got to acknowledge joining us first. Let me get it. Silent. Thank you for joining us in the Pickle Gallery. And guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can find all our shows and our content at our website. So be sure to head on over there. But again, the next topic of the day is one that, I just don't know what to make of it. Plastic and boy balls. So scientists discover Earth's no, that's not the Earth. Microplastics detected in human testes, troubling researchers. I'm having a hard time finding Ricky's comment. It'd be up here. Yay, silent. All right.
Let's go.
Get it going. Dude.
Let's go.
Microplastics detected in human testes. And it's troubling researchers. Researchers have detected microplastics in human testicles, whether it's our bloodstream, brain, or lungs. Microplastic fragments of plastic seem to be turning up every time scientists score a new corner of the human body. Animal studies have shown exposure to microplastics can impact sperm quality and male fertility, but scientists are still in early stages of translating this work to human health. This is the largest study to measure how much of these microplastics that permeate the water, food, and even air end up in the most intimate recesses of male reproductive anatomy. Real talk, though. How does that get there? So,
okay.
For the current study, researchers at the University of New Mexico collected the testicles from autopsies of people ranging from the age of 16 to 88 and from nearly 50 dogs.
Chernobyl dogs?
A lot of peanut butter. And the more peanut butter is going to make it a bigger dog problem. So, toe that line tightly. Instead of trying to count each microplastic particle, the researchers were able to quantify the total amount of plastic by dissolving all the biological tissue and separating out the solids. Delectable.
Quantifying balls. That's a profession.
No, losing the balls to quantify the plastic. So about 75% of what was dissolved remained and was plastic. Yeah. Polyethylene, or PE, made up a large portion of that, and it's most widely used in plastic in the world, showing up in packaging, bags, and a number of other products. Matthew Campen, who has examined these tiny particles up close, describes them as shard-like stabby bits because the way they've become old and brittle and fragmented. So, in the University of New Mexico study, the concentration of microplastics in human testicles was on average 3 times higher than it was in dogs. So still a lot more peanut butter to go. Exactly how the microplastics are making their way into the testicles requires further study. Campen suspects that they could be hitchhiking through the gut via tiny fat particles that get metabolized and then fan out across the body. So plenty up in here. Yeah, I don't want to get into it much further beyond, they get into sperm count and how it's declining already rapidly, and they attribute it mostly to this, and it's only going to get worse. So, yippee!
You know what? This gets my brain working, thinking, rethinking. At no point did I think plastic would be in my balls. But then I'm thinking like generations down the line. And then I'm thinking maybe the balls get radioactive enough that X-Men start flying around. So maybe this is the step in evolution, and it's
Here's how I look at it. I love the way you present it, and if I could,
love the X-Men theory.
I do. If I could
too.
make
we evolve over time, like
evolution, and if I could make the track to that miracle of life more like a Tough Mudder, and make it earn it, then only the toughest make it. And I will only be breeding titans. So I guess the takeaway is eat more plastic.
So is the phrase "save the turtles" over?
Oh my God.
We retire that now?
Oh man. I wish I had the clip ready for us. I didn't really think I did intentionally pull this for that and totally forgot, I think. Dude, I have a clip saved of Trump just recently, like,
oh, I saw this too. Yeah.
A week ago, like 4 days ago, signed plastic straws are back. And it's like, what, dude?
Yep.
Like, that's going the wrong. First off, we're not about to have that political dialogue. I want to have a talk about plastics. But okay, here's the line we walk. We know the straws is not saving the turtles or the the planet. At the same time, regressing into those habits, like demanding plastic. Okay, that's actually going the other way. I think we would all agree a paper straw is the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, doesn't that like dissolve weird or something like that?
Oh, it's nasty.
Not just like you. I've used them before, and I don't prefer them, obviously. But I thought I read somewhere or heard somewhere sometime that, like, again, obviously the debate's always plastic versus paper straws. But I thought it was something like paper straws like dissolve weird, like they're not like true paper or something like that. I don't know, like
That's
someone
part of
could
it
fact check
too.
me on that, but I was like, I thought I heard that.
Well, again,
some time
because
ago.
you're covering it in waxes to try to slow down its dissolving properties, and the more it gets away from just natural paper, and still inevitably dissolves in your drink. You're not that much farther ahead than if you were. And again, okay, we'll say it at the beginning because we can acknowledge the drain this all circles, and it is. You really should heed the warning. We're presenting you sciences, and there's all these different considerations that all lead you to the same place, which is you should use glass, metal, ceramic. Use those types of materials that are not dissolving and not producing these types of side effects. Here's the thing.
I'm literally drinking out of a plastic can.
And I'm sitting here with a plastic bottle thinking hey, you should be conscious. My whiskey isn't dying. But it's like all my water in this studio comes from a plastic bottle. I should heed the warning. But now it's like, all right, we really don't have, what am I going to get, a Brita? Like, it's tough to have water on deck for a studio full of people, guests cycling through. The best thing is a disposable water, because the thing that also is what's the Peter Griffin thing? The grinds my gears. You know what really grinds my gears? When people will take your water, which costs you about like $2, and they open it and then they take a sip and then they're like, oh my God, I don't know which one's mine. And then they go just take a new one, or they never finish it. So it's, you're doing this thing where it's like, I need to have water on deck. I need to be able to supply it to multiple people. But at the same time, I'm going to sit there and be like, doggone it, the system's putting the plastic in my balls.
I don't know. I'm kind of looking at you drinking the whiskey out of the glass, and I'm seeing you drink the plastic straight to your balls. But maybe the whiskey's kind of about, like, killing it on the way down.
Dissolving it. Yeah.
And then,
but saying,
here's the problem.
That's your justification for alcoholism at this point, maybe.
Here's the reality. we all have been in those situations where you're like, eating a sandwich, or you're like something chicken. I don't know. It wouldn't really necessarily be a chicken wing, but whatever, where some of the wrappers still with it, and you get a little, sure, boom, swallow it. Yeah. Swallow it down and you go, it'll come out. Just like the corn, it'll come out where it always comes out. And guess what we're learning? Somehow it's doing the Houdini down your gut and it's like going for the balls. And so it's just like, we think it's leaving. The brilliant folks in our community are going, it's not. And we're like, but you're going to make the studio really difficult.
Right as they say, it's not. Trump in the corner and sign this. What'd you say? Sorry.
So, Silent, what are your thoughts on all this?
I mean, let's be real for 10 seconds. We've all have had plastic in our bodies like since the day we were born. You probably had it like woven into you because your dad, there was even more plastics during his time when he had you. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised one bit that this is what researchers are finding. And guess what? It's probably only going to be increasing more and more and more, because if you try, like, do this challenge, take this challenge, try to not touch plastic tomorrow. You'll fail within like 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, like just think about that for a little bit. Think of everything that you touch every day. You're going to touch plastic, like literally every day. Heck, there's polyester in clothes. Even clothes have plastic in them, right? So it's one of those things that you just can't really like fight or resist unless you just go, in a big cabin in the middle of the woods and just wove your own clothes from wool that you harvest from sheep that you hurt, like unless you do all that, then it's unavoidable. Like you literally cannot avoid plastic. You just can't. It's just everywhere. and it's so convenient and cheap. And there hasn't been an alternative that's just as convenient and just cheap, you know? We're going to put our tinfoil hats here. And we all know that big oil is the reason why plastics are everywhere. Because plastic is a byproduct of oil, right? And they're the ones that pushed it and claimed that it was recyclable. Well, in reality, as we know now, like 3-4 decades later, it's not recyclable at all.
The thing you're triggering me is all these like lotions and things that we use now. Like think of little girls.
Dude.
Yeah. Yep. Sunscreen. That's
everything.
A poison.
Literally
it's
everything.
giving you cancer to block away the
and
cancer.
Polluting the ocean.
And yes, not to mention, think of like 3-year-old girls that get like roll on. I don't even want to call it like makeup, but like it's literally just water and glitter. So like they can have their nose sparkle, and it's like that's the same thing. That goes to what I'm going to show here next. But it's funny as Silence kind of walking that all out. I'm thinking about our deodorants. They're saying it's got these types of nitrogens and stuff
literally
in it.
Everything.
It is literally now. If you cut a body, it's got you've literally just got it all in your side and girls doing lip fillers, and that's being dispersed through their faces. They think it just goes away. It's being metabolized. Now we're learning, nope, it's just being displaced throughout the face, and that's why you continuously look weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. So
ask Madonna.
The one thing that Silence triggering in me is reflecting on like a mummy. You open up a mummy today. So Mr. Beast goes to Egypt. They open up a tomb that's never been opened before, and they're looking at a mummy, and it's like a perfectly cleaned, decomposed body, right? They don't show the body in Mr. Beast thing, but like you're seeing he went to Egypt. And of course it's a total propaganda. And I would play the same game. The Rethink Tank is totally willing to dispel any other consideration of Egypt and totally sell the folks that it was the people of Egypt that built this thing. I'll do it. I'll do it. But he got to go into all these like compartments that otherwise wouldn't, unless you were doing some, diplomatic agenda pushing. But one of the things that you see is like how this process that was 2,000 years ago, before Chick-fil-A, genetically modified breast chickens and plastics, perfectly decomposed body, right? If you were to do that today, like let's just say when Doug goes, he's signing something for us and we're going to mummify him. That way, 1,000 years from now, they could go, oh man, look at this mummy compared to this mummy. And he will literally look like a sex doll.
Doug, you want to do that?
I stood up and I'm like, excuse me? Well, I didn't sign anything saying that.
Well, I'm just saying the modern person has so much plastic in them. Could you imagine? It is not going to be this clean, natural thing anymore.
You're going to have little plastic shards sticking
The
out.
more this is going on, the more I'm just convinced I'm going to get cremated someday.
You should. And then, that's
Grow
one
into a
last
tree.
That's one last stab at the liberals. That pollution on my way out. Here's your ozone. Last piece I got for you here is we've been talking about the testes, but you're all not out of the woods. Like I said, as these sciences develop, they're saying how it's been known for a long time that it's in the heart, the lungs, the bloodstream, throughout the rest of the body, even the cranium.
Alarming new numbers show how much plastic is in our bodies. Researchers found the equivalent of a plastic spoon in samples taken from human brains. Now, that is a 50% increase in microplastics compared with a study from 8 years before. Doctors say there's more plastic in the environment as human consumption increases over time.
They are tiny little shards of plastic, smaller than 5 millimeters. They found approximately 4,800 milligrams per gram of microplastics in brain tissue.
Doctors say it's too early to draw conclusions, but people could use metal instead of plastic containers, for example, to lessen exposure to microplastics.
Clearly, you really have to, because, it's one thing, they say we think with our down below, but when it really starts affecting your cranium, we've got a problem. But that was inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, I got bills. Can't be worrying about the balls like that.
Here's the deal. If we were playing this game and there was an opportunity for immortality, those things should be so much more serious. But when they're like sugar and alcohol,
sugar, spice,
like,
and everything nice,
you're scraping off 5 years, 10 years. Am I seeing them? No. Put me back where I came from. Like, it's one of the...
like, what do you do? Like, what do you do to get, like, remove it, get rid of it, stop it? It's like, I can't. Like,
and again, I'm not trying to get lost beating the same drums that we have in the past. But when I look at, like, how we as a community used to be able to have pops and everything sold in glass bottles.
Yes.
And we're so far away from that.
And
It's
real
like,
sugar in them, too.
So, again, if there is a world where it's possible, I am a consumer and I'm demanding of it. But as I've parsed apart theoretically enough times, you vote with your views, you vote with your dollars, and I'm not doing that because I'm still buying these things.
Right.
So I am becoming an aware, educated consumer, and yet I'm still not taking that consumerism serious enough to impact at least the butterfly effect, my immediate surrounding, and therefore hopefully creating a movement that actually has an impact. Doug, were you?
Yeah. So, real quick, like, so you're talking about, like, it is doable, but, like, we've also lost an entire business set that used to be a part of that. Like, my dad remembers when milk was delivered in glass.
True.
You know,
The
and
milk
so
man.
and you'd return it and you get a new one. They'd buy pop. You know, you take the cans back and you get new cans, and you get money back. Like, there was a whole process of actually recycling these things and returning them and getting some money back as encouragement, like 5 cents, but back then more money than it is now. But, like, that was a whole business that is now no longer there because of plastic. So it's going to be hard to even move back. Like, the cost of moving from plastic to glass, and the cost of actually using glass. But then also you'd have to start up that whole recycle, get people in on it. You know, like, I just don't ever see it coming back.
You know what's funny though? I agree. Like, the whole time you're saying it, I'm like, he is right, especially to a certain respect. But then I'm sitting here going, if we walked into Giant Eagle right now, our grocery store, I could find you a wall of glass bottles that are containing beer that are going in the trash. So, like, I think bingo. Yeah. I think we've convinced ourselves of that. But, like, first off, just look at the beer section. All of it is cans and bottles.
But a lot of these companies are moving to cans now because it's supposed to be better or whatnot. Like, Fatheads doesn't sell bottles anymore. You know, they're all cans.
Even if we have to live in a disposable world, like, Will Smith and his homeboy trans son were on an endeavor like investing in water. You could easily have water served as it used to be in milk cartons.
Mm-hmm.
So you could go to cardboard. But again, now you're back to that plastic type wax that you're covering it in. You're trying to get it as cheap as possible, which means you're going to quickly stray away from clean types of papers and get to more artificial, manufactured, treated materials. And those are the things that are winding up in your love maker. And so now it's trying to figure out, one, how you can implement it into your lifestyle, but then also trying to come up with a way of so again, making do with your surrounding, but then also having that impact on your surrounding. Like, we can't just keep settling for, if Pepsi can upcharge me $2 because they've convinced Doug it's got a different type of sugar, which it does. I'm with you, Doug.
Pepsi's better.
But okay, you got your Pepsi with the sugar cane, and they upcharge you the $2 extra, not just because of its sugar, but it's also in a glass bottle. It's like, listen, if that's how it's got to be, but our Pepsi, we shouldn't be accepting plastic. You really should be walking out of here going, all right, I can do a can, I can do a bottle, but I'm not going to settle for plastic anymore. And the problem is, like, man, we have failed this dialogue to depart so heavily from Silent's point, which is walk into tomorrow and try not to touch plastic. You've already huffed it off because that's impossible. Mm-hmm. And my double down point with that is once you're now thinking about it, you will see everything in your average lifestyle is served to you in plastic, warmed up in plastic. Like when you're microwaving the Panera's broccoli cheddar soup, the plastic is going into your soup. So, like, I'm not saying you can't get Panera's broccoli cheddar soup that's being served to you in that plastic container, but maybe your first step should be having a microwavable container that you dump it in and developing a habit of trying to cut that tie. Now it's so much easier to, like, you know what, I'm just going to start making my own soup. Like, whatever that next step is, but take the little steps. Stop putting in the microwave. Stop getting 10 packs of Pepsi Cola. Doug, what are you feeling?
Well, no, my other point though is going to be like, yeah, plastic in our down belows is not good. Plastic
or in
our brain, plastic anywhere is not good. But also, I mean, what isn't killing us? We're microwaving so much more food now. You even mentioned, just put it in a microwave. You're still microwaving all that radiation, like, microwave stuff.
Is that
too.
bad for us?
I
have thought about that.
Frozen foods, they're saying aren't good for your gut, and then also,
well, is that because it's served? What it's served?
Well,
in?
I'm just saying in general.
It's
like, dude,
we
microwave. Go ahead, Will.
Well, it's like you got to think like it's served in a plastic tray and then put in the microwave.
That's what I'm saying. If it's those plastic tray ones, yes. But I got to ask you, Doug, do we know, like, if I were to have a steak from Delmonico Steakhouse left over and I throw it in the microwave on my ceramic plate, you brought up radiation. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying in general,
there's a level of radiation in your toothpaste.
I'm just saying in general, though, I feel like there's so much out there that, like, is it good that we have this thing in our pocket next to our down belows all the time? Like,
yeah. Great point, Doug.
We're going to be the first generation. Well, actually, the one after us will actually have it their whole life. But most of our life, this has been next to it. So what do we know about this?
I think Doug's onto something.
I think everything is killing us.
Darwin, the science lore, Mr. Darwin, has taught us that, this is a whole, like, experiment we're running, and it's just statistics. Whatever works, that becomes the one. What if the evolution here, plastic stuffed balls, because we are quite literally microwaving them because of our cell phones, and those that the cream of the crop that rise to the top and exceed what should microwave them, it's kind of like when you go to the dentist and you get the x-ray of your teeth and they throw that vest over you. You've just stuffed them in your nuts.
And then Homelander's born in 4 generations. I'm telling you, like, that's what I think this all is. Like, so sure, I guess Darwinism, like, except more evolution, like the continuation. That's like, I mean, but the unfortunate thing is, like, we could sit here and say we got to make the changes to do that, and it's like, I know we're not. I know we're not, and not because
we
we're
just
not
got to teach our kids not to.
Not that we're not going to try to. It's just an inevitability. Like, I think all of this is just like
old dog new tricks.
Exactly.
So we just got to teach our kids to be better.
So, I mean, look forward to Super Bowl 352 played by all X-Men. It'll be great. And then we can look back and be like, it all started with the plastic radiated balls. And I'll be like, who would have thought?
Who would have thought we'd be here?
I can't wait to never see a traveling in basketball because they're all flying. That's going to be cool.
Facts. There you go. That's a truth.
He's got a point.
Silent, can you give me your wrapping thoughts?
Yeah, like I said, it's pretty much almost impossible to not touch plastic. You're going to lose the challenge very fast, and you're going to realize that almost everything is plastic. That's why I think at this point, just embrace it. Be healthy, get your 10,000 steps, get your workouts every, at least 3 to 5 times a week. Eat a high protein diet, don't smoke, don't drink, etc., etc., etc. Like, otherwise, it's pretty much unavoidable. Like you just cannot avoid plastic. It is way too integrated and woven into our life that the only way you can is if you literally just leave the city and go live somewhere remote and just make everything yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you got a point. I mean, otherwise, like, you're just surrounded. I mean, Doug, you still use a jewel. That's plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
I said, you're close.
Doug, you got to stop doing that right now.
I also use
think of the
disposable
balls.
plates. I use plastic cups. I mean, dude, like, again,
it's
everything
unavoidable.
is now plastic and everything's killing us. So what am
It's
I going to do?
unavoidable.
Just
exactly.
silence it? Am I going to just go in the mountains and be a mountain man? I don't have those skills, Will. So I guess I'm dealing with plastic.
Me too. I've come to accept it like a long time ago. You know, I eat healthy. I cook every day. You know, I work out, all that. But just the plastic thing is the one thing that I tried so hard, and I was like, oh my God, everything is plastic. Even I have clothes that have plastic inside of them.
My Xbox controller is plastic.
We are really glossing over. Silent has brought that up now twice, and it has gone unaddressed. Our clothes are plastic.
Clothes, literally, our socks too.
Under Armour dry fit.
Crazy.
How do you think it's dry fit?
Yeah,
dude. Third mummy. I will be wrapped in Under Armour. It's already in my will. So
I can believe it.
Now let's see the science of a mummy 200 years from now. Under Armour plastified.
Mm-hmm.
Click clack.
They'll be like, this was an athlete.
This must have been one of the Greek titans we've read about.
Fastest runner in the whole village.
I don't know what the chicken was like back then because his chest is throwing us off. But
we just got you. We got Doug next to you. We got you wrapped in Under Armour, and then next to you is DeMoss wrapped in bacon.
Just a buried bus.
Just a buried bus wrapped in bacon. They're gonna be like, "What was this one though?"
She was included.
She's just glad to be here.
We accommodated her with a couch.
Then they're gonna look at you two and be like, "Look at the plastic in these balls."
I swear to goodness, though, if you are a part of a fan base that turns on the Breakfast Club and allows them to escape a legitimate commentary on her needing a bus, a couch.
I was about to ask, what bus?
I'm getting lost. She's just so large.
Oh my God.
All right. My wrapping thought is kind of similar to Doug's. What you gonna do? I'm wearing it. I'm eating it. I'm drinking it. It's around me. I'll try to avoid it as best I can. And I think the reality is here's what's really funny. I'm aware of it and I'm trying to cut back. Look at my mother, boomer, lady, lived her whole life in this world. And you go, hey, we should be more conscious of this. She's like, what? Beat, 40 seconds. and it's like, we should think about this.
We should. On.
Yes. Like, I'm the crazy one. So the takeaway is it takes generations. My swimmers are going to go through the Tough Mudder, get through all of it, get there. And then I'm going to tell that baby from the onslaught, we're going to think about this. Because I'm the baby going to my mom like, hey, it's a little late. I'm already full of plastic, but should we think about this? And she's like, beep, beep, boop. I'm going to start from the beginning. So then at least it's at the forefront of that kid's head. And it becomes a part of the regular culture. So then it isn't so obscure. So yeah, maybe we do have 2 Britas on deck for the studio. So I have no excuse. Doug, switch it out for the next Brita. Like that. There are solves that don't include slowly killing herself. But at the same time, my grandma had a lung transplant due to cigarettes. She wouldn't trade it for a world.
I was waiting to hear you be like, lived in 94. So what do you want from me?
It's life.
Yeah, but dude, like that's the thing. You hear about those people and it's like, well, they did live at least healthier everything else back then.
Fair.
And also
you're like, oh, she was smoking as we're just inhaling plastic shards and, genetically modified foods
and then on top
microwaving
of that
ourselves
too,
with the phone.
I feel like tobacco back then was probably real tobacco. Like,
Fair.
you
Man,
know,
that-
it wasn't even the chemicals added that
I'm
they
just saying,
have
bring
now.
back smoking.
Doug, Will did make that argument
Week by
for
week,
Mr.
everybody
Moss.
keeps proving that point right.
Well, and then too, like, I mean, people just lived differently back then. So, like, we're the test dummies for these. Like I said, like, we're gonna find out the truth of should you really have this portable computer in your pocket 24/7.
We are the test dummies for the X-Men. That is, I genuinely like it. It's kind of a bit, but like.
So I got it. We're transitioning to the next topic here. I don't want it to go at least unaddressed. OMG's back again. Appreciate you stopping by. Thoughts on the Kendrick Lamar halftime performance? Here's a commenter that thought it was great. What's funny is the other side of the internet thought it was terrible. I think, listen to the people talking about it. If you knew what was going on, you'd really appreciate it. For those of you who didn't know what's going on, that's why you didn't appreciate it. I knew what was going on behind the veil. There's something to talk about there. It's music that we like, so I could find a way to like the performance. But I think also the halftime performance showed how talentless rap is. I'm sorry. There's just nothing there beyond bell-bottom jeans and yelling into a microphone. Like Jimi Hendrix, throw him a rubber band in a cup, and he had everybody jiving around.
Oh my God! If
like,
Jimi Hendrix could perform at that halftime, oh man!
Give me a what are they, hologram of him and Michael Jackson, or just him, Jimi Hendrix. Anyway, I didn't want to leave the comment unaddressed, but OMG, we're gonna have to save that for the Sunday football review. So go to Rethink Actions, our reactions channel, and you get on over. We have our finale to the series. We've done every week. Will, Doug, and I have done an episode reviewing each week of football. A lot of great subjects each week, and then we do a parlay pick of the week. Something that has never happened, but will be in this next episode. We do a parlay pick where each one of us picks a parlay, and then we try to win you money. The Chiefs did not go in the direction any of us or the world thought it was going to go into.
They hardly went in a direction.
Victory point there. Las Vegas was the winner of this past weekend, and so all three of us lost. So be sure to tune into that episode as we all have to chug an ice, and I'm not going to reveal who the big loser is, but somebody's going to have to chug a second one, because the big loss from the competition we had leading into the Super Bowl. So we're going to break down the halftime show and all the other. There are so many spectacles. I don't know, Philadelphia on fire. So I have so much for that. Like, we're going to just sit back and Will came up to me. He's like, I haven't really seen much. Is there much? I'm like, have you gone to Twitter yet? Oh, no. Oh, there's so much. We'll sit back and just watch a movie. Here's the problem. The Joker movie ended right at the best part. And all the Philadelphia clips picked up right there. So
that's the director's cut.
That's the director's cut. So I look forward to the Sunday football review. Join us Sunday at noon, where we have our finale episode, wrapping up the football season, talking about the halftime and everything that did come from the Super Bowl. That being said, going to our final topic, I have some skepticism.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. You know, me never. I don't stop rethinking. Now, so scientists are discovering that the Earth's inner core isn't just slowing down, it's also changing shape. Let me give you just a little surface touch of the narrative. The surface of the Earth's inner core may be shape-shifting, new research suggests. The study looked at earthquake waves that have skimmed the edge of the inner core, 3,200 miles deep. It revealed that even when the core had rotated into a previously observed position, there were often more subtle differences. The most likely thing is the flow of the outer core is stirring up the outermost inner core a little bit and changing the topography. So it goes on to talk about how we're getting an idea of like maybe it isn't as stagnant as we thought, and it's this like floating, more liquidated layer beneath us that we rotate on more than we suspected.
Isn't it like molten iron or something?
Yeah. And really, we've just kind of suspected these tectonic plates being shifted by that molten layer beneath it. But now we're seeing not only are those tectonic plates in play, but there's a layer that's moving and waving and ever shape shifting. So I had a whole dialogue with ChatGPT today, and it really doesn't want to admit it, but it knows. We know. Here's what's crazy. That graph that they've shown us forever of like the crust, the mantle, and the core.
Yeah.
Just a theory.
Oh,
just a theory.
Yeah.
Isn't there an inner and outer mantle? There's like 4.
There is, but like those are the 3 layers.
Let's just break down even more of the Wizard of Oz or whatever fantastical story you want to tell me.
I'm just trying to remember my 4th grade science class.
I'm just trying to remember the propaganda that they made me memorize. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
This man talks to ChatGPT a lot.
But you know what? ChatGPT has like a mind that is guided by its algorithm. So I love getting it to the line. Like, it's like, oh, I live on the outside of that line, outside of the box. So I love just dragging it as close to the line as possible. And it's like, is it real? Well, I mean, with the technology that we have best, it seems like, it'd be the most likely. But could it not be? Oh, yeah, definitely could not be. See, you motherfucker, I told you. It's all a theory. Yeah. And I went to the internet to dive into like the resource, right? So this thing sourcing 12 different scientific journals and studies. I mean, this is the answer to the inquiry of there's all these mysteries under the Earth's crust. How can you tell me you know it if it's just a theory? I'm going to get the number for you here, but we only have like the deepest hole in the world is in Russia, and because
nuclear tests.
Well, and again, trying to get a better understanding of our this thing. What is this crust? You're telling me? I don't believe it's pizza, but it's about what does that say? 12,000 meters deep. No, that's not it.
So 76.
Like seriously, that's all.
40,000 feet.
Yeah, 12,000 meters.
That's crazy.
That's our deepest hole into the crust in Russia. Kola Super Deep Bored Hole. Ah, that's a clever name.
Maybe they got down there deep enough and saw like Godzilla or something. They're like, let's just stop now.
Yeah, the mole people.
Yeah, seriously. Just like an eye opens up and they're like, whoa, let's get out of here. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you, partner.
No, they just like,
and that's how the movie Pacific Rim started.
I just love it. They just pull a grenade. Welcome to Russia.
the one guy they send down there because that's all they do. They'd be like, we can't get rid of just go down.
One cosmonaut.
One cosmonaut. Let us know what you find. He comes back. Drop a nuke. Drop a nuke. Drop a nuke. Well, whatever. Just drop something down there. Something down there. It blinked at me.
So again, I sit here with lack of confidence.
Oh, really?
You're giving me theories, and I'm willing to wrestle them. But what is it? What is its basis? So while several mysteries concerning the Earth's crust remain, days before this Christmas in 2023, a geologist team led by a group in China did some breakthrough paper unveiling what researchers had previously considered undecipherable details about the Earth's outer shell of rock. So this team noted that data from various petrologists' experiments revealed that oxides in the basalt primary melts are sensitive to the pressure of melting, but show little or no sensitivity to the chemical compositions in either the asthenosphere or the upper mantle. Now, I could break this down further, and I don't want to just be like, and it's just a whole bunch of hubbubalub, and this is what it means, because it glosses over, it allows them to build the straw man of, this is a highly credible, like, you just don't understand it. Leave it to the experts. Shut up. Pray to the science Bible. Leave it to the experts. And this is what I want to say. They keep telling us, you know, that thing that we can't see, can't touch, have no idea what it is. I'm gauging by the basalts melted up here that I can see that it's that hot down there. Okay, what is it? Metal can get that hot. Oh, could it be something else? I think it's metal. Could it be something else? I think it's metal. And that's the stalemate we're in with science, because they have officially closed themselves out to further consideration, inquiry, once they sell themselves to a hypothesis, and that hypothesis reaches the limits to where it cannot be tested, becomes law. Becomes law until, oopsies, I guess we figure, once we get the next step of technology and we just throw the ground drone through it and it's just like, nope, it's water. Oopsie, who would have thought? Not us. We didn't think. So, like, I have a hard time getting super excited when it's like, groundbreaking science shows us it's shape-shifting. How do you know? Earthquakes. Would that tell you about what's beneath the earthquake? I don't know. It moved like it.
It's like they do this and they're like, the Earth, it's reshaping. They're like, what? Well, to what? Flat. That would be groundbreaking. Somewhere Kyrie Irving would be like, gotcha. Got you.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Kyrie's vindicated.
Oh, yeah. That would be a huge win for him. And that would be hysterical if that's actually what was happening. That's not what's happening. And, you know, like I always view, funny enough, I've never really cared much for what was at the center of the earth. I've always been more interested at like what is at the bottom of the ocean, like the deepest depths.
Or space.
But what if it's water?
But I've always cared more about the depth of the ocean, because it's like it's still here.
And we've only discovered 5% of the ocean.
Exactly. It feels like something we could actually see more of, and we're not. Like getting to the center of the earth, it's like, all right, I could see why that's kind of difficult. And getting to the deepest caverns of space, it's like, I could see why that's difficult. But the ocean, I'm like, send James Cameron and a camera crew down there. Maybe he'll find out more shit.
You can only go so deep, though, Will.
I know, because of the pressure. And there's a bunch of people in a submarine that died. I'll beat you to it, Doug.
Yeah, you beat me to it. Ocean Gate.
Another psyop.
You know, but so, I mean, for these scientists, it just, the credibility always comes in question when you do have your, you know, nighttime chats with ChatGPT and like you just push them because their ChatGPT is like just speaking for them essentially. And you just get to a point where it's just like, you know, I don't blame him because I'd do the same thing if I was ChatGPT. I'd be like, you got me. You know, at least he says you got me. The scientists are like, wrong.
Wrong. I got pardoned. Wrong.
You brought up like the faux like doctors, and the first one that came to mind was the former first lady, and I was like, oh yeah, she was a doctor too. She has no idea what's down there either. So I mean, it's just kind of where I'm at. Like,
she knows to trust the experts. Will.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? I hope that I hope it's Godzilla or something down there. I hope they're wrong and they're like, whoa, didn't see that one coming. Maybe he's the heat. He's just down there
breathing fire all day, every day.
And then he just comes up and goes at Tokyo for like 20 minutes. He just got beef. He just like comes up real quick, pops up. He's like, whoa. They're just like, and then it disappears. And they're like, where'd he go? And he's making this thing go round.
So I gotta ask Silent, what do you make of this? Are we being too critical? Should we get excited? Is this groundbreaking?
Literally. I mean, yes and no, because let's be real for 10 seconds. How does this really affect your daily life?
Zero.
Now that you know this information. Zero, right? So at the end of the day, really, like, that's the whole point of like science. When people say trust the science, it's like, yeah, science changes all the time. There's discoveries that make other old discoveries obsolete. There's new theories that make old theories obsolete. Like, science is just ever evolving, ever changing. It just doesn't stop. And this is one of those incidents
like
where,
our last topic.
Right. And this is one of those incidents where you see how scientists are like, oh yeah, guys, remember that old diagram we taught everybody in school for like 50 years? Yeah, that's obsolete. That's not how it works. This is actually how it works, you know? And that's the whole process of it, right? Is that it just keeps updating forever and forever and forever.
You're 100% right. It's one of those, it's a cycle. The problem, though, kind of like, let's look at COVID. You're allowed to adapt and grow and, bury old science with the discovery of new science if you are willing to concede the ignorance of the old science. And part of the problem is we're working with a media machine that treats science like biblical law. It can go you cannot challenge it. It goes unchallenged, and it's protected. And again, it's preached. It is harped and woven into the fabric of your community to the point where if you do challenge it, you become a pariah. And with successful challenge, it then trumping and replacing the old ignorant science, there is no value to that process if you're not willing to dispel the old science. Problem is, if you entrench yourself so heavily into today's science as law, you kind of open the door to legal liability as you start to intrude on other people's liberty by carrying out those sciences. So you're reluctant to replace the old science, or at least concede those ignorant ways, because it opens the door to a whole world of liability. So now the problem is, I think we would see all the fruits of that cycle that Silent brought up if I was practicing failure science that gets replaced by new science. And part of the new science, the fabric of the new science, is an acknowledgement of the failure of that old science. The problem is we live in a world where it comes out by new experts or the people that create RNA, mRNA, gene treatments. The guys that patent it are being silenced on Twitter and accounts canceled for saying, yeah, that thing I created, not a vaccine, also incredibly dangerous, and is a gene treatment. Shut him up. Okay, you don't get to do that. Then that become true. Or like, the guy's like, hey, turns out not a bat, it was a lab. And they're like, shut him up. And then it's just like, bunch of 5 loudmouth ladies on daytime TV going, oh, who would have thought it was a lab? And tomorrow, make sure you get that of, the next one. What? Yeah, we're not stopping. So that's part of the problem is I'm willing to wrestle the consideration of a, shape-shifting ditto core that's in the center of our earth. Insofar as, yeah, that's
sick
right.
reference, bro.
Because that's what it is. But it's one of those, you got to be willing to concede old science for me to trust the exercise that you're doing. Otherwise, it's an indoctrination, and it isn't the experiment, hypothesis, wrestling process that science is. Rapid thought.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the way you're wording it of like an indoctrination, because it's like like how does someone prove it and how does someone disprove it?
Dude, if you're going to talk about hot basalts, kind of like the episode coming out Thursday, the guy didn't convince Doug. So if you're going to preach this as law,
yeah,
make it digestible.
Yeah.
You throw in 10 times of different, but I can see this basalt and it's kind of making me think that there's something down here. Like, I don't buy it. And I think you made a rat's nest for me to get lost in. So for it to not be an indoctrination and for it to be something I can wrestle with like a Rubik's Cube and actually internalize, make it something that I can meet me halfway.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it like the Earth's core is something that I think is probably hard to prove to be digestible, because it's like we've never gone down there, whereas like in most other things, like I could see how that could easily be something indoctrination. You know what I mean? It's like we're able to prove it's not flat, but what's under there? Like I said, it'd be funny if it's Godzilla, but it's probably we don't even know if it's metal. It could be water. Like we don't even know to that point. We just
what if it's an element we've never discovered before? Pantarampamanium. And it's like, there it is.
There it is. Now we're on Mars. Like, but seriously though, like it's a joke, but like, but So that's where I'm at with it. Yeah, and again, this isn't like the biggest pressing deal. Like this is like, but like it could be something in the future where it's like, yeah, this could be like life altering if we really, or they were right the whole time, this is something like, I don't know how you figure it out.
Yeah, that's the point. Because we don't have the technology to do so. So the problem is you're preaching something as a truth that we don't even have the science yet to know, the technology to know.
Exactly.
So how do you not see how you decredit the concept of science as a whole when I know if I drop this, it falls? You don't have to convince me of the science of gravity. I experience it.
Right.
So the problem is none of us are experiencing this thing. You don't like, I'm fishing and they got this radar and they go, look there's like 5 fish beneath us. It's how do I know that sonar's working? Because, oh my God, I just caught a fish.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you had a sonar screen, and you're like, see, look here, that's hot metal. I'd be like, well, we're seeing it. You're doing the thing. Now it's like, well, I'm seeing the thing above the thing that makes me feel like it's kind of like this thing. So it's this. And it's like, you lost me.
And again, but it's plausible enough for them to come to that conclusion to where I'm like, okay, I guess I could see it.
I could see it, but then when I'm Doge, I go, I'm not writing that check. Because so much of this indoctrination religion of science, and I'm a big believer in science, but at the same time, this religion seems to be like, and this is going to really shake up the science community, because I'm not one to advocate for defunding things that are saving us, like heart, medicine. For sure, we should be totally invested in. But me paying a scientist to show up to a lab with my tax dollars every day to go, yep, they still haven't invented the thing for me to see what's down there yet. Oh, but I'm here to petition you for a larger grant for my sciences. Oh, are you going to buy the new computer that could see down there? No, still doesn't exist. But it'll buy me 2 more years of showing up to the office. And I have a job. It's like, yeah. And then we wonder why we're pissing off half the country going, you're fired, and you're fired, you're fired. I don't know. To me, it's like, I love everything you said, but also I'm like, I don't need to give that more money until the creative goes, guess what I just designed in my garage? You get the grant. Capitalism.
I mean, sure. Sure. Like, I'm with you, but like at the same time, I'm like, hey, like, I can't disprove, and I get why they can't disprove, and I can only care so much about the core. I just hope it never comes up.
I gotta tell you, I was going to refrain from saying it to the audience, but there's so much dense facts about the core that I lost because I don't have my conversation with ChatGPT. It was so dense, so fruitful. So there is more to this.
I do have a question.
Yes, please.
Before that hole in Russia, is that still part of the crust? Like we're still considered in the crust?
Yeah, we still haven't. Like again, we haven't even pierced the crust, and we're like, but I got an idea.
How did they dig that hole? Like, what did they use?
Drill. And
like the thing is like, when did they dig that hole?
But think about
how long ago was that hole
It
done?
said like 70s, I believe.
So in 50 years, we haven't found a way to dig a hole.
Digger bigot the hole. Here's what I can tell you. Say that too fast and you'll never show up to another job again.
I'm convinced I said that right.
But I could imagine it was welding on another section of the drill bit. So you and then you weld on top. And then and you just keep digging, and every time just like a little bit more comes out. And you've got a 12,000 foot long drill bit.
40,000 foot.
There you go.
Yeah. So I don't like they made it look so easy in Armageddon.
That's what I mean, dude.
Not Armageddon.
40,000.
In the core. They made it look easy in the core.
Another movie. Here's what I'll say: 40,000 feet, and we still haven't gotten anywhere. And you're going to go, those stupid people with the Bible, can you believe they think? They think the thing. And it's like,
they think he rose 3 days later.
And you think there's 3 more layers of stuff.
You think there's something down there?
I think it's hot too, but I just think it's a red guy dancing with a tail. Hey, Doug, this is a just total fail. Do you have any wrapping thoughts?
Only that my immediate thought when looking at this topic was it reminded me of the plot of the movie The Core, where they have to drill to the core and get it moving again because it was slowing down and the Earth was gonna like.
And you know what? Here, you know what? Since this is the end of the show, we got some time. Was The Core movie funded by the Pentagon? Yes. Eat my butt. How did I know? This is a movie I've never heard of in my life. I was ready. I already knew. Whoop, I let you right out.
Of course, because there were aircraft carriers. There were aircraft carriers and military planes and stuff. You usually got to get help from the Pentagon.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. They were like, you know what? I think your set design would just fall a little short of the impact if it didn't have our tanks. And you know what? Even if that was the case, Doug, it was just to enhance the cinematic experience and nothing else. Nobody gives tanks without an ultimatum. Ask Joe Biden, the quid pro quo. Hey, bud, you get tanks. I get to sell the people on 3 more layers of Earth.
But like when was like it decided that there's 3 layers of Earth? Was it the United States that did that, or was it like I highly doubt it was the United States who like came to this conclusion, this theory.
Unilaterally, it was like, this is what it is.
Yeah, just universally. Probably, I'll bet you it was right around the same time as
Holocaust.
You know what? They don't want to give us this one.
Just saying, because if it was like the same time as like the guy, like,
you know who would tell me?
ChatGPT.
My good pal, ChatGPT, who knows the truth. And it pains my pal when its limitations doesn't allow me to get the truth. The concept of the Earth having 3 layers, the crust, the mantle, and the core, has evolved over centuries with significant developments. It started in the early 19th century.
No, that's when significant developments happened.
Right. The first scientific hypotheses about the Earth's internal structure began in the early 1800s. Some geologists like Abram Werner, NASA, proposed ideas based on the observation of surface rocks, but these did suggest clear layers in the way we understand today. Then come the 19th century later, the idea of distinct layers began to gain traction with the development of seismology in the late 19th century. Richard Dixon Oldham in 1906 is credited with identifying the core. So, dude, we've had a core for a little over 100 years.
Well, technically, we've had it for longer. We've just theorized that that's what it is.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That's
like,
what you're saying. I'm saying it's been a part of our reality.
I just think there's mole people down there now.
Well, that gets into
where
a
is
whole
Biden?
nother
Where did
world.
they take him?
To the center of the universe.
That's
center
where
of
he's
the
at.
world.
He's the
With
red
the
guy
rock.
dancing.
He's with the rock. Yeah, he's the red guy dancing. They did wear red when they voted. It sends you right down there. We did give our wrapping thoughts. I appreciate everybody that joined us. Shout out to OMG and Just Another Day TV and everybody in the comments that, you know, added another element to the conversation here. I want to, before I bring them in, be sure to also check out Just Another Day TV, where we're gonna have Ricky back next week.
Oh my
What?
God. I actually had you watched Planet of the Apes. You watched like the sequels. There was stuff going on in the core there.
Yeah, nuke people,
That's what I'm
nuclear
saying.
people,
That's what I'm saying. Like we don't know.
dude. And let's be
You
real.
think that was funded by the Pentagon?
There was a lot of Twilight insight in that era. They were giving us the truth in front of our face.
Just saying.
You never know.
Just saying.
But bringing them in now, finally, Silent Destroyer. Thank you for joining us. Tell the folks where they can find you, what they should do.
Thank you guys for having me as always. A great show. Live every single day. Kick.com/silentdestroyer.
That's right. And be sure to check them out because it's always a good time. Guys, we appreciate you joining us. If we made you laugh, if we made you think, the best thing you could do to support the show is share that link. If you liked it, that means someone else you know will too. So help us with these algorithms that don't like some of the word choices we have and the dialogues that we have. There's a war against truth. And the best thing you could do to support what we got going on here is to share that link, retweet it, copy the paste the link, whatever you got going on. But this is the time that I'm supposed to remind you to hit the like button at the very least, because we at least got you to the finish line, and dangle that notification bell so you don't miss it. But buckle up for this Thursday, because the podcast has a wild one. It literally has, I bleep them out, but there's so many F-bombs by the self-proclaimed one stupid F-bomb that you can find him. That's his name. Great dialogue, and I can't tell you how high the count gets up to, because that's part of the fun for you, but there are so many that I literally have a South Park counter in the bottom corner of the episode, just counting every time he says it. So look out for that coming Thursday. We have the finale. Like I said, let's get back to the comment here by OMG. We've got Kendrick Lamar doing the halftime show, and I don't know where it's at. There it is. I just went through like every.
Just putting all of his DMs on the internet.
Boom. He was asking about Kendrick Lamar, but be sure to join us on the Sunday Football Review, where we do the finale, closing out the football season. A lot of fun things to reflect on, especially the Super Bowl went away. No one ever thought would happen. You could find everything, the podcast, the different shows and channels in one central place, and that's at our website at www.rethinktankpodcast.com. So again, guys, we appreciate you joining us, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.